Hello, my celestial beings. This is Mystic Storm here to clear the path to a new life with you. As a spiritual advisor, I use divination tools such as astrology, tarot and oracle cards, and energy healing to help you along your spiritual journey. We are here to find clarity, guidance, insight, and inspiration to help us balance these energies and go through these energies with grace and ease. Okay, so I'm excited to dive into this astrology chart for the Sagittarius new moon. Okay, we are officially in Sag season. Okay, shout out to all my Sages. It's your birthday. Let's celebrate. It's gonna be turned. Okay, and then before we get into the chart, I wanted to mention again, I am doing year ahead readings for 2023. Okay, make sure you check out my website, msbotanica.com. Okay, to go ahead and book a reading for that. You can also book other services and products there as well. Okay, and I am looking into doing a 3 month at a time like spiritual assessment or to help you along your journey, because a lot can happen in 3 days, 3 months, 90 days, right? And if you have goals that you're wanting to accomplish, we can work through them and make sure that you are aligning yourself with the right tools, energy in order to fulfill your goals. Okay, so make sure you let me know if you're interested in that, what you would kind of want to look into that, and we can go from there. All right, and then lastly, let's admire the retwist, the retwist, and the retwist. Okay. I usually hardly ever get on here with my retwist, my fresh retwist at that. So this is my 6 month lockiversary when I'm filming this, which is the 20th. So I always say like the 20th through the 21st is my lockiversary, because I started my 2 strand twist on May 20th of 2022, and I finished on the 21st of 2022, and that was, I think that was the summer, the summer solstice. So yeah, okay, look at me. So yes, 6 months. So we're gonna dive into the chart, okay? And when I look at this chart, I really do feel like this is a time where we are really going within to plan ahead to get that fire from Sagittarius energy, that optimism, that inner wisdom in order to fulfill what it is that we want to do. I am looking at this from a perspective of the sun and the moon conjunct in Sagittarius, which that creates a new moon in the sixth house. The sixth house is Virgo energy. So with Virgos, it's all about organization. It's all about youthfulness, systems. Okay, your health, fitness. So this could be just like your overall quality of life. Okay, how are you wanting to work on that, to change that? And I feel like that is also within alignment, because there's going to be deep inner transformation that is going to, it's a lifelong thing that's going to happen, but this inner transformation is going to help us fulfill what it is that we are wanting to accomplish. Okay, and so this new moon is a very great energy to go ahead and start your New Year's resolutions if you haven't already, because New Year's, we already kind of been thinking about that before we get to the actual new year. And I want us to make sure that we are going into the new year 2023 blazing. blazing, but it's like that. It's like it's like blazing with confidence, but you're like long strutting. It's not like you're like, let's get it, like running like that. It's just like you just blazing. You just know your confidence, know your worth, you know what you're going after, and you're doing it type of thing. Okay. And I say that this is a deep inner transformation because the sun and moon here conjuncting Sagittarius in the sixth house. It is trine, I believe, no, or sextile with Pluto in the ninth house in the sign of Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn energy is all about career, long term goals. Long term goals, okay? Structure. So we're talking about having that structure in the organization and putting the systems together with Virgo energy and the structure from Capricorn energy to create these long-term goals is we're going to help. The Pluto in this energy is going to help transform that. It's in the ninth house. Ninth house is Sagittarius energy, so it's all about the wisdom, philosophy, spirituality, law and religion, right? Like your morals, your ethics. I feel like that might also be changing, like going through and reflecting on your life and realizing the programs that were set on you. Do you actually believe these? Some people may believe them, as you reflect and all those things. If that resonates with you, great. But there might be some conflict within the inner self because you are now evolving into something of a more elevated, higher uh, state or frequency. I'm not saying that to be like above anybody else. This is just elevating to your highest version of yourself, okay? So, yeah, I'm living my best life. That's all that is. It's not trying to say that you're better than anyone else. It's just you doing what's best for you. Okay. And then I want to also say learning. So this is a good time to actually, if you wanted to brush up on some skills, make sure that you are doing your research, you're doing your due diligence in order to be, you may want to start a course, a class, you may want to get coaching, investing in something that matters to you for your self-development. Okay, it could be very well in your career since that's Capricorn's energy, or it could just be just your overall life. Okay. Um, let's see what else here. I will say the sun and the moon is in the first degree of Sagittarius. I barely talk about degrees on here. But anytime that a planet starts in a sign, it's like that well, it could be fiery energy or very potent or intense um, energy because it's the spark, right? So I could I can see that as a page turning into a knight in tarot, as far as like it is the childlike energy of it, so because it can be a little rambunctious. That's what I'm getting. You could be childish or immature at that sense before it goes off and then makes that impulse to go ahead and take action on it. So the reason why I'm saying this is new, fresh, childlike energy, and I feel like this is good energy because it is trine over here with Jupiter and Neptune in the 11th house in the sign of Pisces. Okay, so with this trine here, I feel like there is going to be an increase in our hopes and our wishes being fulfilled. I feel like, however, it can be easy for us to slip up and be and fall for the illusions, because I just said the sun and moon is in the beginning of the of Sagittarius, the first degree, and that's like the page like energy, childlike, very naive in a sense, wanting to try things new. You might have a fresh uh, um, perspective on some things too, but coupled with the moon going into a trine with Neptune retrograde in Pisces, even though this is a harmonious energy, that is something that we could also look out for as well. There might be great ideas that maybe appear to you, but you may have to take some time, because not everything may be revealed to you all at once, because the new moon is the dark moon. It's not the illumination. It's not seeing everything clearly right now. So I want to bring that to our attention as well. And this could be like insights, or this could be endings, closure, beginnings. It can be spirituality. I'm looking at Pisces energy, but it's also in it's also in the 11th house, and that's Aquarius. So this has to do with groups, friends, right? Our hopes, our wishes, the future. So there may be some endings or some new beginnings. You may need to take some time for yourself to really dive deep on your self development, trying to figure out who you are and what you want to do, like your life purpose. Or you may be at a crossroads and you're trying to figure out what do you need to do to go forward. Okay. And if that's the case, hey, shameless plug, make sure you check out my website, msbotanica.com, and we can discuss this and we can work through these energies together. Okay. All right. But we do have, with that Jupiter and Neptune retrograde in the sign of Pisces, in which they are, I believe, they're pretty much conjunct. They are a sextile with the Pluto in the ninth house in the sign of Capricorn. So again, with this trine with the sun and the moon, Jupiter and Neptune, and they are both sextiling to Pluto in the ninth house in I was about to say Neptune, Capricorn. This is showing good energy. This is everything is happening to transform us, to give us a deeper understanding, deeper wisdom, deeper spiritual faith. Okay. And with transformation, remember, just because these energies, it says it's harmonious and glorious, that does not mean you're not going to go through a storm. Okay? And it's okay to feel how you feel. It's okay to um, dive deep in your feelings, especially since the moon is in Virgo. We're probably going to really get in there and analyze what it is we really want. What are we trying to do with our lives going forward? Okay, because there's definitely um, some growth here. There's some challenges here that is happening in our future, because this is in the 11th house. Okay, and it's shaping who we are. This is causing us to be more authentic within ourselves. This is causing us to have more it may be friction in order for us to be authentic and true to ourselves. I'm looking at that because Chiron retrograde is also in the 11th house, but it's in the sign of Aries. Okay. So, let's see. We have a couple more aspects and then we can get into the reading. We're gonna go to Mars retrograde, which is a is a big deal right now. And I do have a Mars retrograde reading. I think also astrology forecast, I believe. Make sure you check that out. The Mars retrograde is happening in the first house in the sign of Gemini. So Gemini is all about communication. It's the mind. It's our neighbors, our community. It is also our siblings. So it's a lot of things like our close kind of relationships, right? I feel like third house is more like, your world, right? Like your outside world. And then 11th house, which is Aquarius energy, is everyone, the globe, right? Thinking of everyone. Okay. So how you're being social at this time. This is going to affect us on a singular level because it's in the first house. It's our identity, it's our approach to life. These are also new beginnings, right? So there may be new beginnings within how we approach social interaction, or how we change our perspectives, how we're looking at things. Um, Also, with this energy, it is trine with trine with Saturn in the 10th house in the sign of Aquarius. Okay, Saturn is Aquarius's ancient ruler, and with that being here, this it may feel like there are some restrictions. You may feel like there's some limitations on yourself, and it very well may be against your long-term goals, since it's in the 10th house. This is Capricorn's energy, right? So I would say whatever obstacles may be laid against you or laid before you, they're probably not all, you know, it's redirection from your guides, from spirit, from your ancestors. Okay, it's like rejection is God's protection, or things maybe, and these are good things, right? Because they're trying. So it may be someone, I don't know, you're wanting a promotion at your job, and you hardly get looked at, or when it comes up to promotions. Well, someone on your team and ends up that was in a higher position from you, they leave the company, and that leaves a hole. So you have the opportunity, even though it's going to be more work on you, you have the opportunity to show yourself and present yourself to be considered for the promotion type things. So there's a limitation or a restriction there as far as you're getting more access. You aren't getting the recognition that you want for the promotion, but something comes up to help you, and it's probably like tough love kind of type thing, or it might be like, why is this happening, or um but it's just like redirection type thing. um I will say Mars retrograde is also squared off with, it's just Neptune retrograde in Pisces in the 11th house, right? So we need to mind our relationships with others, or maybe how we feel about others, our friends, our groups, our social groups, maybe even like how society is right now, because there might be it's a lot of yes, healing we have to go through, deep healing we have to go through, but there may be a lot of inflamed agitation here, to where you may act on impulses um, more easily at this time. So being mindful of that. Okay. And lastly, we do have a square off with Uranus in the 12th house, Uranus retrograde in the 12th house in Taurus with Saturn in Aquarius in the 10th house. Saturn and Aries are co-rulers of Aquarius. So yeah, it's like you may feel like blindsided a little bit about some things, but yeah, it's for your growth and your betterment. It's your for your to um see your value, to see how what your priorities are, how can you fix what or adjust what you're doing as far as like your day to day in order to get on the right track. I'm saying this because um Uranus retrograde in Taurus in the 12th house is conjunct with the North Node. This is where we're heading. And Taurus energy is the second house energy, and that's ruled by Venus. So it's value, money, possessions. Okay. This is also our daily routines. Like I said, what is this? Habits, right? Our habits, which ties into the moon, the new moon in the sixth house, right? Systems, organizations, work habits is here, right? That's habits there. How can it's tension there, yes, but finding ways, um, self love or self care, or finding ways to work on yourself, right, through these times in order to um, bring awareness to whatever you're wanting to change and transform. Okay, it probably is very very deep within you what you're trying to change, because it's 12th house energy. We're talking about like the subconscious. So it's subconscious runs the show. And if it's embedded in that, it's going to take some time to really get through that. Um, but I will say, hmm, I think this is just a long term thing that it's going to be tension and friction, yes, because it's a habit that we're probably having to work through. But if you're actively working towards that and working with this energy, it can set you up to have a more smooth transition through it. Okay, with the other aspects that are going on. Okay. All right. I think that's all I want to say about the astrology portion. And yeah, I think we're just going to get into the reading here. I am going to use this is the Starman's tarot, okay? So I'm going to use that and probably use maybe just one oracle um, deck, maybe two, we'll see. And yeah, we're going to go from here. We're going to see what what is hidden from us, and how can we work towards it to come out um, in the outcome we wanted, or something. I'm trying to figure out like what's a good what's a good way to put that, but we're trying to look at what's hidden, right, when it comes to um our goals and things, like what's maybe blocking us from our goals, and any guidance that can go along to help us get out of that rut, pretty much. All right. All right. Spirit, ancestors, guides, what messages, what guidance do you have for the collective? What do we need to know? in this very moment. There is something that we definitely need to release. Something that may be kind of toxic to us. I also get like a sense of like walking on fire. Discipline. Okay. So let me share the visuals that that I got. At first, it was like water, like ocean vibes. So that's emotions, right? And then I seen like a toilet like lid, and it was just shit, like shit on this. So like the thought like, oh, it's something that we need to release, and and something toxic. It could be like addictions because this is in like the 12th house. Talking about the North Node with the Uranus retrograde and towards like values, work habits, things like that. Again, for that love, because that's going to help us transform, right? I'm trying to reiterate, but there's something that needs to release that might be toxic or maybe harmful, towards our growth. And then like saw like feet walking on fire, like how people walk on the hot pebbles, and they do it in some cultures. And then they have like they have the spiritual discipline, the breath control to calm their body to walk across, right? It's the discipline, the spiritual discipline. That's what we need to call on during this energy, the spiritual discipline. That's what we need. Discipline to really get things to put put what it is that we want to accomplish in perspective and have the focus to see it through. It is not even though the pressure may be on, right? Even though the pressure may be on, you're walking in your truth and power, in calmness and with grace. Okay? So yeah. Okay, I like that. We're going to get into the cards. What's hidden from our awareness, Spirit? I heard I've been listening to commercials because I have Hulu and I have the commercials. Don't judge, but that Sonic commercial is like for 2 for $5, but all I hear is that's a rhetorical question. I said, what's hidden in Spirit saying that's a rhetorical question? Because we already know what we need to do. Ooh. I'm like, okay. It was too many cards. Let's get one card, Spirit. What's hidden? That's funny. Okay, well, we got 9-9. We got 9 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. Okay, 9-9. They did come out in reverse. Okay, so this could be internal energy, right? As far as like what's hidden inside of us, right? We can say here. So with, let's see. And it's like Nine of Pentacles is Taurus, Earth energy. It could be Venus energy. What's hidden from our awareness when it comes to like money and value? I'm seeing like a lot of shapeshifter type energy. I see like this bat, this dragon. I even see like ghosts for like spirit. I also see a hawk here, rabbit. But I'm really getting changing your perspective as far as shape shifting with the hawk here, changing your perspective when it comes to money, when it comes to taking care of yourself, your value, your habits, right? And what fulfills you, what fuels you. Also, is it something of substance that is going to help you along your journey, or is it something that's going to eventually burn you out? Okay. Um, Also, making sure you indulge, take it easy, making sure that you take time for yourself. I know that's probably easier said than done for a lot of people, but finding those little moments will definitely help, okay? And then we also have the Nine of Cups here. The Nine of Cups. We got this lizard energy. Lizard energy is all about like intuitive, psychic things. So, working with your intuition, right? Trusting your intuition. And this also kind of gives me, let's see. I'm looking at everything. I'm like, even though it's just Nine of Cups, it kind of gives me the Seven of Cups feel. Like, this lady has options. And she can pick from different creative maybe endeavors, different moods, right? Tapping into different energies. You got the sacred geometry here. So what's hidden is you can you have um more you have more I want to say control, but I don't want to say control. You have more ability. You have the ability to shift and change into different energies, to align to different energies in order to get things accomplished, or to move past them quicker, or to heal, or to do that. It's a point of tapping into that. Okay. Nines are all about completion. Knowing that you can see things through is another thing. But yes, using your intuitive abilities to sense what you need to do in a certain situation. It can be in love, it can be in career, it can be in business. Pick up on those energies. How do you feel? And then you move accordingly. Trusting in the guidance of your guides, spirit, and then also making sure that you meditate on it, that you take time to sit with this, that you take time for yourself too, and that you are keeping your best interests at first and foremost, or at heart. Okay, let's see. Additional messages. Well, I was like, let me stop. I was like, I do like this deck. It's a different deck, like the different feel. But I'm also trying to be more intentional with the questions that I ask. Um, so we said what's hidden. We figured that out. How do we keep this at the forefront of our minds? Because it's one thing for me to say this, and if it's something that's hidden, you know, and it's a rhetorical question because we have to constantly keep waking up to it, right? How do we keep this at the forefront of our minds? You have Eight of Cups in reverse. Let's see. The Moon. Eight of Cups is all about like leaving something behind, walking away from something, transitioning. Feel like everything that's probably presented, you probably tried a lot of things and just walking away, maybe just leaving all the old concepts behind and focusing on the self. It's like a starman, like this is the artwork kind of for this in the heart chakra. So you have to do what's best for you, even though there may be some resistance here. Even though this is some things that you really hold dear to your heart, they really help you. They probably helped you get to where you are so far. You may have a dependence on these things to help you elevate your moves or help you through some things, and it's something you may just have to leave behind, and it may just be negative thought patterns. It could be over criticizing yourself or getting to know your inner self. Okay, and it could be leaving behind, the inner critic and all of the negative beliefs that you put upon yourself or other people have put upon you, and just releasing those and letting those go. Okay, the moon energy here is all about it could be secrets, illusions, illumination. Okay, since this looks like the full moon pretty much here with illumination to the truth. I feel like also how can we keep this steadily? This could say we can keep up with the moon cycles, right? Okay, leaving behind old concepts, and this could be rituals, habits, right? With the moon is a ritual, right? And you may want to form your discipline or your work habits or your production flow with the moon, because like farmers use the moon to work through crop and all that stuff. So maybe also paying attention more with the moon, with your feelings, with your intuitive abilities, learning to trust yourself more in order to navigate and be productive, efficient, goal oriented. So I feel like this is all pretty. I know it's like I feel like it's all pretty self-explanatory, But I feel like these are things that we also neglect sometimes because we know, okay, yes, I know I have to release this, or oh, yes, I have to, bring things to my awareness and all these things. But at the same time, knowing the power that we hold, again, is something that we need to remember on a daily basis because we can change our moods, and also we can also notice how others affect us. We talked a lot about groups, social groups, communities, friend groups, and all those things. Knowing how those energies blend together. What's the mood? That's picking up on different energies, right? Nine of Cups, trusting, your inner guidance on how you need to move going forward. Again, there may be some things that you probably have to leave behind, but you don't want to necessarily. But I feel like it's more so like the negative thought patterns, and not recognizing the power you have inside the Starman, which I believe is the magician in this deck, knowing the power that you hold, right? Stop denying yourself of who you are. Come up with a plan. Be more intentional in your rituals. Also, not being swayed by the moon or the moods or the illusions. Okay? Be still and observe, and then reflect and see the inner truth, the inner wisdom. A lot of times we want things to be right in our face, go. And no, sometimes you just gotta observe and process. The moon is in Virgo, so take the time to analyze. Take the time to really think about and go within and see your truth. Okay? That's how you can gain harmony to a pentacles. This is balance. This is not taking on more than you can chew. Knowing your limits, right? Because Saturn, there we go, Mars retrograde, trine Saturn. Knowing your limits and respecting your limits and your boundaries, okay? And having that focus, yeah. Standing on the 8, magician, like the infinity 8, but also transformation, magician. Yeah, standing in your power, literally, and not being afraid. So I hope that you all enjoyed this reading. I know I was staring at the imagery because I was like, this is different imagery for me, but I love staring into it and like trying to find the deeper meaning. But I'm going to close out with the Soul's Journey Oracle cards. Make sure that you check out my website for a reading, also for the year ahead. Make sure you share with a friend, and yeah, make sure you also check out my other videos. I do have a plethora. All right, Spirit, final message. We have grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. We talked about a lot of endings, grief. Grief does not have to necessarily mean a physical death, even though some people may be grieving someone that has physically passed, but this is just death in period, like transformation, a loss as in a relationship, a loss of friendship, a loss of a job, or things like that. So just being able to turn that grief into just, hey, I appreciated the time we spent together. A lot of lessons learned. I know it's just time to move into something, different and better. And then we talked about discipline. Discipline at the base of the deck. It says, I can accomplish Whatever I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Releasing the shit, right? That maybe the what we put into our bodies, what we think, what we listen to, it can be there is different strokes for different folks. You know what it is that you probably need to work on, because that's a rhetorical question. If y'all know that commercial, let me know. Look, I'm like death, fear, we got change. Like I could keep pulling, but I'm not. I think we pretty much get the gist of this, and I feel like um if we set intentions and really take advantage of the Sagittarius new moon, I feel like we can definitely work through these energies um, more more on top. On top. Okay. And if you have any questions, need any additional guidance, just let me know. I'm here. And yeah, I love you all. I hope to see you in the next one. And yes, love you, love you, love you. See ya.